Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you new to government contracting and you've been pursuing service-based contracts via SAM.gov, where you put in countless hours of assembling your team, putting together your responses to those RFPs, only to find out you didn't win, and you're feeling that the system may be slightly rigged against you, and you're just chasing your tail? Well, hey, don't give up. There is a better option, and it's called selling products to the Defense Logistics Agency, better known as the DLA. Hey, I'm the DLA Guru, and I've been in this space for the past 20 years, and I've put together a fantastic YouTube channel that's packed with information and hacks to give you some insight on how to position yourself to sell to the DLA. Take a look at my channel and subscribe today. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. The DLA Guru is back in the building. Back in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I am back in the building. Hailing from Dallas, Texas. Yes, on this beautiful Saturday morning. I'm pretty excited about today. Today is my bi-monthly scheduled live stream dedicated to my Brigadier Generals and Patreon community members. Yes, today is your day. We're going to be camming up. We're going to be miking up, and we're going to be talking anything and everything related to the DLA in a closed circuit training just for my member community only. However, for all my subscribers out there, we're approaching 3,000 subscribers. Yes, we are almost there. I think we're probably like maybe 40 subscribers away from my 3,000 subscriber goal. But today is also your day because I have a fantastic presentation, as you saw with the thumbnail and you saw with the title. We're going to be talking about steps to become a manufacturer's rep. So today is your day. I got a fantastic presentation that's open forum. It's about maybe 30, 40 minutes or so. I'm going to take my time going through this because I have a passion about manufacturing and a passion about supporting the DLA through manufacturing. So today is going to be a fantastic presentation to give you guys some nuggets from the DLA Guru's perspective on how you may be able to position your businesses as you're looking at government contracting and supporting the DLA and supporting our Warfighter through custom manufacturing. All right, so today is going to be your day, so you're going to want to strap in. You want to grab a pen and paper, take some notes, watch the replay 100 times, whatever it takes in order to absorb all this fantastic content that I'll have for the public forum. And then after that's all done, as you guys know, my Brigadier Generals that are out there, my Patreon community members, I always love for you guys to drop a little love in the comment section. Let me know when you enter the building. But if you're new and you're a new Brigadier General, because I think we got a few new Brigadier Generals this week, that if you're new to this whole how do you connect with me, take a look at the members community tab here on YouTube. And there is a specific link that's only for the eyes and ears, or the fingers, I should say, for the Brigadier Generals, where you'll click that link and it'll bring you over here in StreamYard, in my waiting room, and the Patreon community. You guys know exactly what to do. And once I get a quorum of Brigadier Generals and Patreon community members in my waiting room here over here in StreamYard, that's going to be my signal to go ahead and go closed circuit so that we can talk anything and everything related to the DLA. Okay, great. So that's the whole. I got to give the spiel so everyone that's kind of new, because I'm getting a lot of new viewers coming in and chiming in on what the DLA Guru is cooking. So that's my protocol for you guys to connect with me today. All right. Now, if you're also interested in joining to become a Brigadier General, you're here in the YouTube streets. So it looks like we have 6 concurrent viewers and 4 likes. Fantastic. All you got to do is take a look at the pinned comment in my chat. There is a link that will allow you to upgrade your free subscription to a paid subscription. That is the illustrious Brigadier General. So you can also cam up and mic up with me today too. All you gotta do is click that button, come on over here. You can meet the community. We can talk anything and everything related to the DLA. Again, we're going to be talking about national stock numbers. We're going to be talking about manufacturing, trade secrets, like what I like to say. And we're going to be talking about your solicitations or any kind of contract woes that you may be having. I may be able to shed some light onto how you can get over that obstacle and get your piece of the DLA pie, as well as my members that will be chiming in today in that community. They also may be a great opportunity for you to network with a DLA vendor near you that is in your community, in your city and state, and all that good stuff. So it's just a wealth of information for you to be joining the DLA vendor network today. All right, so that's what that's all about. But before diving into today's presentation, you guys know the past couple of live streams, I've been talking a little bit about just kind of grounding, being able to ground yourself. There's a lot going on in the political landscape. There's a lot going on as it relates to the world and, the changes, the stock market, everything is just like, the sky's falling. And whenever you're in that situation, you got to find a way to ground yourself so that you don't become, get consumed by the madness. And one way that I recommend that you ground yourself is always through prayer, right? And as you guys know, I've been talking a little bit about the Prayer of Jabez. You can find this prayer in 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9 through 10. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person. The Prayer of Jabez, it means a lot to me. And the prayer goes something like this. Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, that you would keep me from evil, that I may not be caused pain. Very simple prayer. You can look it up, Google it, take a look at that prayer. I highly recommend that you commit it to memory and have that be part of your prayer mantra, because it was a fantastic prayer. The way that I understand the prayer, and it came to me when I was about 23 years old. It was one of the most complete prayers in the Bible next to the Lord's Prayer. And Jabez had a fantastic life, lots of wealth, great family, great health. Just, he prayed that prayer every single day. So I've committed that to my life as well. And I've seen some pretty cool things happen to me. So I wanted to share that with you. Prayer of Jabez, check it out. Okay, cool. So now today, you guys are like, DLA Guru, that's fantastic. That's so cool. I'm so glad that you are telling us a little bit about the Prayer of Jabez and putting us on that spiritual game. Yes, I'm always trying to add value to my community. But today, you guys are really chiming in because you want to learn a little bit about what are some of the best steps to become a manufacturer's rep, because I believe this is a way that you can definitely 10x your business as it relates to not only working with the DLA, but just government contracting in general, whether it be federal contracting, state and local. We need manufacturers in order to produce the products the federal government procures. All right. So guys know there are two types of products: commercial off the shelf products, things you can go to your local Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, you name it. You can buy that stuff, and you can also buy it wholesale, resell those types of products to federal agencies, including that of the DLA. And then there's the manufacturing side of it. That is the custom manufacturing, where there's like precision manufacturing, where they're making machine parts, or they're fabricating clothing, protective gear, things of that nature. Well, hey, we need manufacturers for that. And guess what? The new administration, President Trump, is talking about American manufacturers. We want to bring manufacturing back. He has a long way to go with it, because I believe, there's a lot of folks that are kind of moved out of that arena. But guess what, guys? There are over 600K small business manufacturers that are registered as manufacturers here in the United States. All right. So that's a huge pool of opportunity, huge pool. And these manufacturers can be found all over the place. And today's live stream is going to be talking a little bit about how you can find some of these manufacturers and how you can position and get the right mindset, the right training in order to knock on those manufacturers' doors to say, hey, manufacturer, I'm interested in seeing if we can do a little business. I can bring some business your way. Because within the DLA, because my channel is all about the DLA vendor network, there are only 8,500 registered vendors with the DLA. They're allowed to, they're legal, or I should say, or are registered, I should say, to bid on DLA solicitations. So 600,000 manufacturers the DLA wants, but only 8,500 vendors are registered. And those are manufacturers and reps that are registered right now today to bid on DLA solicitations. So that means it's a lot of manufacturers that don't even know the DLA exists. So that means opportunity for you guys if you're looking to get involved in a new business with new business opportunities, or just a new industry. I think that you are in the right place at the right time. So all right, so let's go ahead and dive into what today is all about, right? So I do have a fiscal 2025 year goal to support a maximum of 10 new businesses as with their goals of becoming or getting into custom precision manufacturing or custom manufactured goods in support of the DLA. Guess what? I got my second business signed up. They signed up recently in order to get some real cool coaching, my 90-day challenge. You guys probably see some of my content. So I got 2 vendors that I'm supporting with a 90-day challenge. And I highly recommend that if you're interested in getting connected with the DLA Guru, I got 8 slots available. I'm only doing 10 this year. So there, well, here we are in April. So, we're in the second quarter of the year. Hopefully we'll be able to reach my goal of supporting 10 new businesses this year. So go ahead and connect with me if you're interested in learning a little bit more. Now, for those of you who are new to me, new to my content, my name is Kiwi Hendricks. I am the U.S. government sales manager with the National Material Supply Company. Yes, the National Material Supply Company. We have been servicing the U.S. government through federal contracting by way of the DLA, by way of the U.S. military for the past 20 plus years. With that, I've coined the name the DLA Guru. All right. And the DLA Guru, yeah, not trying to be vain, but, I think I know a little bit. I've skipped my knee, bumped my head, had some wins, had some losses, enough to coin the name the DLA Guru. And I am here for you guys to just tune in and tap in with all of my knowledge base on how you can position yourself for success with DLA. So I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are interested in today's live stream, to throw a question in the chat. Feel free to throw a question in the chat. But guess what? You got to do a little something to get a little something. Hit that subscribe button. That will give you instant access to be able to use my chat to drop in a comment. And some things, I notice in my live streams, I don't get a lot of comments coming in. So I do have, and I wrote it down, make sure I get this right. I have a survey that I'd like to release to you guys today. And that survey is, what other topics would you like me to cover throughout, with my channel, just either in these live streams or just other content, other videos? You're like, man, if DLA Guru can kind of cover this, drop that in the chat today. Drop that in the chat. I'll field those comments. Just anything, any type of topic or any type of subject or whatever it comes to mind that you'd like me to breathe a little life into, something that's keeping you up at night. Use my chat to do that while I go through this live stream. And by all means, hit that like button. I love you to like this video, like any of my content that I have out there in these YouTube streets. I have over 300 videos in my catalog, all dedicated to supporting your business with the DLA. All right. And last but not least, share this content to friends, family, and business colleagues who you think may be, inspired in order to learn a little bit more about positioning themselves and having a business that supports the DLA, because the DLA is looking for you. They're looking for you. All right, cool. And hit that notification bell, because you don't want to be a day late or a dollar short as I drop relevant content to empower and inspire you for success with the DLA. Okay, guys, I got all that out for all those newcomers that are out there. I'd love to get into the nitty gritty. Now, before getting into today's conversation or training, I should say, I also want to put you on game because we offer affordable pre-printed MIL standard 129 unit ID labels. Yes, for the low. And there are a lot of DLA vendors that are taking advantage of this offer that I have out there. It's through a partnership with our friends over at HECdistribution.com. Basically, these are MIL standard 129 unit ID labels that need to be affixed to any products that you ship to designated DLA depots. This is a 100% requirement for your DLA contracts, and a lot of vendors get kind of caught up because they forget to label, to bag and tag their products that they send over to DLA, and that's a problem because when the DLA receives products that have either no tags or the wrong type of tags, then your product gets caught up in what's called a litigation. You guys know that the infamous word, the DLA's litigation, meaning that you're going to have to rework the material, and it's nothing but headache, right? It can take upwards of 90 days for you to kind of work out that issue with the DLA if you just so happen to forget to do something like this. So let me go ahead and take you a little bit of dive how easy it is to get your hands on some of these MIL standard 129 unit ID labels provided by our friends over at HECdistribution.com. When you log onto the website, and again, I'll pin the link to this particular site in the description of this video. You'll probably see it on the replay if it's not already down in there. But when you scroll into this site here, you'll see those labels. They're 3-inch by 2-inch labels on the correct polypropylene label stock, and they are pre-printed, meaning you will provide us with all the information on your contract. All you do is follow these 5 steps that are clearly outlined here on screen. I'll just kind of scroll down a little bit more. And all these fields here, you just basically transcribe information directly from your DLA contract into this site, fill in the blanks with all your relevant information, and then you let our friends over at HEC know how many labels you'll need in order to support your contract, add it to the cart, and you're off to the races. And they will deliver these pre-printed MIL standard 129 unit ID labels to a doorstep near you for the whopping price of 15 cents per label. All right, so this is what we're doing to add value to you guys. I just want you guys to be successful with your DLA contract awards. You know, you don't want to get caught up in storage room B, you know, and that's just not a good place to be. All right, cool. So let's get into today's conversation. We got 10 viewers in the building, 5 likes. Get those likes up, guys. If you feel like the DLA Guru is giving you a lot of you know, value, give me a little love. It stokes the YouTube algorithm and gets my message out to a broader audience, because I'm trying to get that 3,000 subscriber, meet that goal, hopefully by the end of this month. You know, just, hey, I'm just 40 away. You know, just, hey, share it to just 2 friends or family members. Say, hey, click the like button on this guy, click the subscribe button, because the DLA Guru is definitely adding value. All right, cool. So the very first step, in my opinion, to becoming or aligning yourself to become a manufacturer's rep, first of all, you guys got to understand what the heck a manufacturer's rep does, right? Manufacturers reps, they sell manufacturers products to wholesale and retail customers. All right, that's the first thing. Just think about that. All right, so you're basically going to find a manufacturer and say, hey, manufacturer, what do you build? What do you do? Okay, let me understand it. Let me absorb it. Let me see if I can help you guys increase your customer base. And a lot of manufacturers, they don't want to do the onesie twosies. They want to sell in bulk. They want to sell by the case, not by the unit, not by the each, right? So kind of keep that in mind as becoming a manufacturer's rep. So, you know, we don't like to get into inventory holding costs, that is inventorying a lot of products. So some of those bigger box manufacturers, we don't work directly. We're not a tier 1 distributor. We operate more as a tier 2 distributor, meaning we're buying it from some of the master distributors out there. But when you get into precision machining and custom manufacturing, that kind of opens the door up into where you can do what's called contract manufacturing for short runs. It's really important to kind of understand what that's all about as you navigate your business to, you know, grow your manufacturing base. And by the way, guys, the DLA is looking for this. So this is just, again, a great opportunity. First thing, you want to represent non-competing manufacturers. You don't want to get into the situation where you got 2 competing manufacturers and you're trying to represent both, because good news travels, but bad news travels even faster. All right. So you want to make sure that you are getting into a situation where you know exactly who the manufacturers are, who their competitors are, so that you're not cannibalizing some of their, you know, business opportunities. And then they're just looking at you like, man, this company's an idiot. You know, why in the world would they be talking to this guy? That kind of thing. So you want to kind of try to figure out how to understand that. Also, you want to understand that manufacturers reps, you want to communicate this. You guys are operating on a commission only, because a lot of manufacturers are like, wait a minute, are you trying to, like, is there some kind of retainer? You know how lawyers, you know, need a $3,000 retainer in order for us to even, you know, take on your case and things of that nature. Manufacturers, they don't want to pay anything. They want to basically pay you when you bring business to them. All right. So keep that in mind too. You want to let them know in your value add proposition that, hey, we're not asking for any money up front. Whenever we ink a deal or we get a customer, whenever that customer buys, we get a commission on that sale. So that's what you want to be sure that you're communicating that with your manufacturers. Also, you want to work within a defined territory or niche market. So a lot of times, as you guys know, these bigger manufacturers like the 3Ms and the DuPonts of the world, they kind of cut the country up or the world up into segments. And there are certain territories where they say, hey, you know, can't sell to you because you're headquartered in the wrong territory, things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you are sensitive to a manufacturer's territory restrictions. All right. So sometimes not saying that, hey, I can be a national distributor. It's, hey, I could just be your local distributor, and you kind of work locally within that market, and not necessarily like within your city, but like, let's say within a region that you're going to be covering. All right. So that's another thing that you can add when you're understanding what a rep does. All right, cool. And before getting into number 2, because I don't have any brigadier generals or Patreon members in the waiting room, and for those of you who may be chiming in a little late, I go to about 11 o'clock. So if I don't get any Patreon members and or brigadier generals, you guys got me for the full 2 hours today. So fantastic. So it looks like we got 10 concurrent viewers. Okay, we got Sheraton Vaughn. All right, you know what? Let me go ahead and pop this comment on the screen. Now, I like to have some comments because something else I want to show you guys in a second here. Let's see. We got Mr. Charrington Vaughn. I think I remember your name from the last live stream. He says, thanks, DLA Guru. Received my first traceability request yesterday. All right. Excited to deliver. That is fantastic. Yes, bid and bid often. Get those traceability requests coming in because traceability means you are that much closer in order to getting a DLA award. So I am really, really excited about that. And thank you for posting that comment and letting folks know out there that the DLA is a real customer. All you got to do is just get the information and get involved. So Charrington Vaughn, thank you again. Carrington Vaughn, thank you again for that comment. I really appreciate that. Letting the folks know that this is a real business, right? Cool. You know what? Let me switch it over to this one so you guys kind of see it. So you guys probably saw my last video that, well, for those of you who may not have seen it, but I did post a vlog last week, I believe, of me participating with a trade show. All right. So here's the trade show program. You see, I got my little yellow sticky hanging out of there because I've been kind of going through this thing and dicing it up and trying to understand and seeing all these different vendors that were there and doing my follow-ups. Yes, but you want to go to some of these trade shows. These trade shows have manufacturer booths. This is a way that you can reach out and touch manufacturers, and they had one here. This is the Design to Part. It's a national trade show. This is the 2025 program for Irving, Texas. And if you see that video that's circling, it's in my catalog. Highly recommend you take a look at that because it does show the list of cities that they're going to be traveling to this quarter, or each quarter for the remainder of the year. So they may be coming to a city near you. And guess what? It's free to register. It's a free trade show, and it's an awesome trade show. I mean, they give you so much information. I believe I also, let me reach behind my green screen there, but yeah, they also provided me with this fantastic supplier directory. It has all these, it's like a Thomas Register, like the old school Thomas Register, but these are like dedicated manufacturers that are part of the Design to Print, the Design to Part community. And it's just a wealth of information about precision machining manufacturers, manufacturers that make apparel. I mean, you name it, gaskets, fasteners, all that good stuff. This is all that kind of stuff that the DLA buys. So this is just a wealth of information, this particular catalog. So I highly recommend that you guys sign up for these trade shows, go and visit them because there's so much information that comes out of these trade shows. All right, cool. All right, so let's get back to today's presentation because that's number 1. I got 9 to go. And we got one more point. Yes, you want to act as a bridge. Yeah, well, that's kind of my point. You want to act as a bridge between manufacturers and end users. End users being the federal government, manufacturers being companies that you find at these trade shows. Is that so? Yeah, at these trade shows, right? So that's what being a manufacturer's rep is all about. And that's kind of what we do. And if you're interested in just learning a little bit more about how do you become a manufacturer, how do you get the swag of a manufacturer's rep, hey guys, I recommend that you upgrade your subscription, become a Brigadier Generals, so you can connect with me bi-monthly here in these YouTube streets. It looks like we got one. Hey, we got a Brigadier General that has entered the building. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and kind of hit this in high gear. We're 23 minutes into the presentation. All right, cool. So number 2, you want to pick an industry or niche, right? So you want to focus. This is very crucial. You want to focus on an industry or a niche. You don't want to be kind of all over the place. You don't want to be doing this and doing that and doing this, right? And here are some ideas of some industries that kind of wet your palate. You want to focus potentially on industrial equipment, of an industrial equipment niche. A lot of times the terminology that we use is industrial MRO. We are just industrial MRO reseller, meaning maintenance, repair, and operations equipment, right? Companies like Grainger, commercial off the shelf, is a great place that you can go and peruse Grainger's catalog to kind of give you an idea of what type of industrial equipment, it's out there. And then you can kind of focus in on a strategy of finding manufacturers that produce that type of materials, those types of materials, and then finding out if those opportunities exist with the DLA. So that's one. Number 2, Medical devices. There's a lot of DLA medical, medical devices. The DLA buys a lot of, we got soldiers. We got soldiers that get, we got to keep them healthy, keep them strong, keep them fighting strong, right? So you want to get into the metal device industry. Another industry, consumer electronics. We got airplanes, we got tanks, we got submarines, we got frigadier, we got carriers, we got all this stuff, right? Jeeps, just name it. All the equipment that the warfighter needs to operate, there are electronic devices in these particular components. Missiles, don't forget, missiles have drones, all that stuff, right? So consumer electronics is another particular industry or niche that you can get into. And when you kind of, these very high level niches, of course, there are more. I'm just, I could be talking forever. I just want to throw a little bit out there for you. But when you focus in on these industries, then you want to make sure that these manufacturers, because there is the difference between consumer grade and military grade. So the military has higher standards, they have higher requirements. And so you want to make sure you get with manufacturers that have a knack, have an understanding that can fulfill the necessary quality assurance requirements to support military products, right? So military, government contracting, yes, not only just the DLA, but government contracting in general, because there are other agencies, whether you're bidding direct to the U.S. military, that is Air Force, you can sell, you don't have to sell everything through the DLA. Air Force bases, they do buy direct. Army bases, buy direct. Naval bases, buy direct. But the DLA is just a low barrier of entry to kind of getting in the game, right? So that's why I always recommend that you look at the DLA, right? Now, fun fact, you want to choose an industry where you have some background, some knowledge base, or if you don't have that, but you have a strong interest, meaning like you get excited about it. You want to learn, because if you're not excited about something, you're not going to learn it. You're going to forget about it. You guys see how I'm just bubbling. I'm excited about what I'm doing. That's the reason why I'm showing up consistently. You got to be excited, or if you don't have it naturally, align yourself with the community that can help to keep you excited. All right. So that's what the DLA Vendor Network, this community that I'm developing. Hey, you guys want to just, friends and family members out there, men and women, join the DLA Vendor Network. This is the community that we're building in order to keep you guys fighting strong, right? Cool. Number 3, you want to gain some sales experience. You don't always need a degree, but having a strong business-to-business sales experience is a must. So you do have to be kind of a people person. Hey, by the way, guys, I'm an introvert. I'm an engineer. Engineers, we kind of just like put us in the lab, put a lab coat on, don't talk to me. I can't spell very well and all that good stuff. If I can do it, you can do it. All right. So you want to basically exercise a muscle. If you're afraid of public speaking and things of that nature, get involved with some public speaking courses or something like that. You want to get involved in something that's going to help grow you, because there's no money in being stagnant. You want to find ways to grow yourself, and having some business to business sales experience, being able to articulate, talk on the phone, not being afraid to pick up the phone and just kind of talking. And even if you're saying the wrong things, like I said, make mistakes until those mistakes become lessons where you no longer make those mistakes anymore. But it requires you to take a plunge and get some sales experience. All right. A couple of things there. You want to start in a sales role at a related company. That's a possibility. If you're looking for maybe a part-time job, maybe potentially working at Grainger part-time. I'm sure some of these companies are hiring, that could potentially help you to gain some sales experience if you have a little time, that's what I recommend. Right. And then 2, you want to develop skills in prospecting, negotiating, and guess what? CRM tools. You want to get a little background in customer relationship management tools. CRM tools, they support marketing, they support sales and customer service functions and processes for businesses. All right. The purpose of a CRM tool is to organize, record, and enable action with customer data and help track advanced customers along every stage of the buying journey. So this type of skill set is really important. And I got a chart that I was kind of clicking around to learn a little bit more CRM. You'll hear a lot about CRM in the manufacturing sector, because You have to be able to track all this and put some analytics around it. Now, I'm not going to say I'm an expert in these three main types as far as operational, analytical, and collaborative, but I did take some notes. I did some little research on it, and I'll tell you one area we're damn good at the analytical side of it. All right, but on the operational side of CRM, this type focuses on automating and streamlining customer-facing processes like sales, marketing, and customer service. It aims to make the processes more efficient and effective. So, hey, that might be something that interests you. So you can kind of hone in on operational CRM as a value add proposition to a potential manufacturer in order to align yourself to become a manufacturer's rep. Manufacturers are looking to outsource a lot of this type of stuff. You know, they just want to make widgets. All right. You as the manufacturer rep, you're going to bring value and say, okay, you make the widget, and I'm going to get the customers and bring the customers to buy those widgets. You know, that's kind of what the relationship that we're having here. On the analytical side, as far as the three main types, analytical CRM, this type focuses on data analysis and reporting to gain insights into customer behavior and trends. It helps businesses make better decisions and improve customer relationships. So what that means is with the DLA, which is a fantastic customer, all that information is public. Any award information, past award information, the unit price that they awarded it, what they bought, how much they bought, how they bought it. That's all. What agency, what command within the DLA bought it. That's all part of this analytical piece of CRM. Get really good at doing the analyticals, number crunching, understanding that there's a demand, for that based on past award information. Keeping your finger on the pulse of what's happening with the U.S. military. What's happening with the State Department. Are they, there's a lot of information that's out there. You just kind of got to get plugged in and know how to leverage all that information and say, okay, cool. This is where I think my company should go. So let's find manufacturers that I can support through all this analytical data gathering that you're doing there. Collaborative CRM. This type emphasizes communication and collaboration across different departments within a company. All right. It helps break down silos and ensures that everyone has access to the same customer information. So again, our company, I think we're really, really strong on the analytical side. We got a little operational, we got a little collaborative, but that analytical, that's our piece. But you got to find out what piece jives with you based off of what you like to do. You have to be passionate. Keep in mind, never think what the DLA can do for you. Think what you can do for the DLA, and you'll be just fine in your DLA journey. All right. So I just wanted to leave you guys with a little bit of that. So as a recap, develop skills in prospecting, negotiation, and CRM tools. All right, cool. You want to learn how to demo products and close deals. All right. So I don't think there's a lot of demoing products as it relates to the DLA, but of course, DLA sometimes where we ask you for those SDS sheets, those safety data sheets. Sometimes they may ask you for, like the hazardous labels. They may even ask you for a tech sheet on a particular product. Let's say it's a new gear or a new, gizmo, a new electronic component. They will ask you for information in order for you to present that so they can put that over to the product specialist to make sure that that's a product that the end user, that is the U.S. military, is looking for. So not demoing as in like you're bringing it up and you're demoing this, but like being able to just have a little bit of a knowledge base of like what it is that you're selling. So that kind of supports the gaining sales experience. Okay, cool. Moving on. Now, I don't see much in my chat. You guys are I got 7 concurrent viewers, which is fantastic. Remember, guys, if you don't have a direct question about the topic today, drop in the chat. What are some topics that you would like me to cover? Because I want to make sure that I'm not just covering what I want to cover. I want to cover some of the things that you want me to cover as well, within reason, of course. Feel free to drop any of those topics or anything that's kind of keeping you up at night. If you're new to the DLA, you're on the fence, you're trying to decide if you want to jump in and be part of the winning team, or if you're out there like Brother Carrington that's out there bidding and getting his first traceability request as of yesterday, let me know what are some video topics that you'd like me to potentially put underneath my wing and breathe some life into, because I'm definitely open to helping you guys with that as well. All right, number 4, you want to research and network with manufacturers. Again, I'll just bring it up again. You want to research and network. Trade shows, I think, by far is the best way of networking with manufacturers. All right. Trade show, number one. Two, industry directories. I think I have a video that's out there talking about thomasnet.com. It used to be called the Thomas Register back in the 90s. It literally used to be this huge Bible, this huge book that we used to have your fingers do the walking, sort of like the Yellow Pages. But it was a big deal. And I remember like the early 2000s when they switched over to ThomasNet, and I remember getting my very first account to their online database. There are a host of other databases out there, but for the public forum, I'll tell you about the thomasnet.com. There are some other ones that we use in-house, but you guys got to be part of the DLA vendor network to get those goodies. You can invest a little bit in me. I'll invest a lot in you in order to kind of steer you in the right direction if you're interested in the manufacturing sector. And you also want to connect in the LinkedIn outreach. LinkedIn is the key to connecting with with other manufacturers out there. They're all on LinkedIn, guys. I'm telling you, LinkedIn is just an untapped territory for you to network and to research other manufacturers that could potentially support military product acquisitions. And you want to join manufacturers associations. NDIA.org is a fantastic association. I think the dues are like $35 a year. You get access to their publication. They send you a magazine every month that talks. NDA stands for the National Defense Industrial Association.org. Highly recommend. I'm not, I don't get any commission or anything like that for recommend you guys join them, but I recommend you join the NDIA. They have chapters in every probably major city. They have get-togethers where you can go and hobnob, and this is just other ways that you can network with companies that have an interest in supporting military sales. All right, cool. Number five, you want to be sure, for those of you who are 9 to 5 and you're like, man, I really hate, I'm working 9 to 5. You remember Dolly Parton song back in the 80s? Anyway, and you're interested in getting out of it 9 to 5 and you're trying to figure out how you can take take your life, take the destiny of your life in your own hands through entrepreneurship. You want to first set up a business. You register your business as an LLC. Our company, we're a limited liability company. You want to be an INC or whatever, however you want to register your business, but don't register underneath your social security number. You guys want to go ahead and get a business license, and you want to get an employer identification number, or sometimes they call it the FEIN, which is the Federal Employer Identification Number, so that you can have something outside of your social security number that you can kind of leverage any liability and that kind of stuff away from your personal assets. So you want to have the proper registrations, because when you go talk to a manufacturing company, they're going to look at you kind of crazy if you're coming there and you don't even have your business a business license, or you're registered in any kind of way to show that you are serious about doing business. So don't try to be a sole proprietor and knocking on the door of a manufacturer. You're just wasting your time. All right. And you want to set up accounting. That means you want to consider QuickBooks or hiring a CPA, because, man, when the money starts to flow, you want to make sure you got the right books in order, in case you're audited and things like that, just to make sure that you are doing things, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right? You want to make sure that you are doing things the way that should be, how it's set up for you to be successful. And, last but not least, I think you should prepare a professional website that has some type of manufacturer's rep profile, so that when you're talking to manufacturers, you got your business card, they're just like you're researching them. Guess what? They're going to research you. No manufacturer is going to want to work with a company that they don't think, that's wasting their time. All right. So just make sure you have all your stuff set up. That's number 5. And number six, you want to pitch to manufacturers. All right. Pitching to manufacturers, meaning you got all those, 1 through 5 steps underneath your belt. Now you're ready to connect with manufacturers that interest you. So you want to be able to highlight your industry knowledge, whatever it is that you love to do, what types of products that really invigorate you. Or if it's nothing that you don't do directly, find someone that you can hire, or have a family member, an engineer, or someone that's in your family, someone that may be in the medical profession that does have an interest in that. Maybe they can be kind of a consultant to you. Maybe they can kind of work with you and kind of show you the ropes as it relates to you getting involved and pitching to manufacturers, right? You want to show and share your sales achievements. You want to let them know, hey, I've done pretty good in the commercial space. This is what I've done. This is what I've done in the government space. Let them know that, hey, we're serious about what we do, and we think partnering with you can increase not only our sales goals, but yours in tandem. All right. Bullet point number 3, you want to explain how you'll grow their sales in your territory. All right. So I just kind of talked a little bit about that. I can't tell you exactly how to do it because it depends on your business and where you're going. But through some consulting, if you guys got some ideas, feel free to reach out to yours truly, DLA Guru. And I'm sure I can shed a little light on some of the things that we've done that might help to steer you in the right direction as you pursue these types of ways to pitch to manufacturers. And you want to offer to start with a trial or a small region, meaning like, okay, cool. Let's, give me, 90 days to see if I can assist you in some way. And if you get manufacturers, especially the smaller manufacturers, they'll say, sure, no problem. It doesn't cost me anything. All I got to do is receive some request quotes from you and kind of bid on those and work with you and collab on them. Okay, cool. No problem. So give them a time frame, just don't have it open-ended. Say, hey, look, 30, 60, 90 days. I recommend starting in 90 days because you still need to have a little time to learn them and then find opportunities in DLA, things of that nature, and see if you can ink a contract within that period. That right there proves your worth to these manufacturers. All right. Number 7, you want to build a portfolio of products. All right. What I mean by that is this maximizes your income potential. It's smart to rep multiple non-competing product lines in the same industry. Very, very smart. All right. So for example, let's say paint products. If you're getting into enamel-based products or things like that, military grade. So here you are, you're kind of representing chemicals, but guess what? You're also going to need the tools to apply the chemicals. So you got 2 different reps. You got 2 different lines. You got the chemical itself, and then you got the equipment, the sprayers, the nozzles, and the paint brushes, and things of this nature, or even the breathing mat. The personal protection equipment that goes with military personnel that's going to be applying those military grade paints to vehicles, things like that, right? So just kind of think, how can these products kind of benefit each other, but be within the same industry? So that's something that I recommend. And it makes you more valuable to your buyer. That is the end user. That is the DLA. The DLA says, hey, this company can kind of do a little bit, they're in that same industry and they have access to both. And there's a proven track record of providing great pricing, great availability, on-time delivery. It just opens the door to the DLA wanting to do a little bit more business with you guys. Not all the solicitations are public. Sometimes the DLA finds out about you. They'll send opportunities direct to you. You'll get emails that say, hey, they call them market research surveys, where the DLA says, hey, I got something that I'm working on that is not on DIBBS. Can you bid this? And, fill out manually. They'll actually send you the solicitation as a PDF attachment that you can bid that way. Anyway, that's another story within itself. All right. And it diversifies your income streams as well. So being able to work in multiple product categories within the same industry, one is down, the other is up, and vice versa. So diversification is important. This will help you as a manufacturer's rep kind of weather the storm for the ups and downs in the economy. All right, cool. Number 8. We're getting close to the number 9, and I'm glad you guys are still sticking with me. There are 9 concurrent viewers and 7 likes. Fantastic. Don't have any comments. No surveys. No one's answered the survey of what topics would you like me to cover. This is 9 of you out there. Just drop it in the chat. Let me know what you'd like me to cover in future videos or future live streams, and I'm going to do the research, especially if it's something that was in my wheelhouse. It'd be easy to present it. All right. So let me know if there's something that's kind of keeping you guys up at night. I'm wide open to receiving that information. Just feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll copy and paste it and put it in my notes. All right, cool. So number eight, you want to keep learning and improving. And for those of you that keep showing up bi-monthly, unfortunately, YouTube doesn't let me know who the 9 viewers are out there, but we do have 3 brigadier generals in the waiting room there. Okay, well, I told you about 40 minutes. It's 11:44, so I'm getting ready to end this out, close this out. But you want to keep learning and improving. You want to stay up to date on your industry trends. Case in point, ndia.org. That's a great association to be a part of. $35 a year. Let them know DLA Guru sent you, even though they probably don't know who the hell the DLA Guru is. But anyway, great publication. They see this magazine. You can flip through. You can learn about different manufacturers. You can learn about what's going on with drone technology, all this kind of stuff. And it just kind of gives you this kind of a crystal ball into how you can position your company and align yourself with manufacturers that are supporting the defense industry. All right, so stay up to date on industry trends. You want to attend trade shows and conferences, as I talked about earlier. You can Google this too. I think it's, design to part, design the number 2 part. Just Google it, find out where they're going to be in their next trade show. I don't have the agenda here in this live stream, but I highly recommend that you start to look at trade shows, and that's a free one. A lot of these trade shows, you got to pay to play. But the design to part is one of the largest trade shows in the United States. Highly recommend take a look at it. It's pretty cool. All right, cool. And you want to build your CRM and prospecting systems. Highly recommend that you do that. Figure out of those top 3, the analytical, the operational, and I can't remember the third off the top of my head. But anyway, watch the replay. See if you can get involved in CRM in some kind of way as a value add proposition to manufacturers. Highly recommend you do that. And you want to focus on relationship building with your end users, meaning your customers. That is the DLA, the U.S. military, federal contracting agencies. You want to focus on relationship building. You want them to know who you are. All right. That's really, really important. The way you do it, you just got to be there. You got to show up. You got to send the emails. You got to respond to emails. You got to answer phone calls. You got to send out questions. You got to make sure that you're getting involved with the DLA whenever they have their TKOs and things like that. I mean, this isn't easy. This is work. You got to put work in, but if you love it, you love what you're doing and you're passionate about what you're doing, it really isn't really work. It's just, it's just part of life, that kind of thing. Right. So something that I really, really recommend you guys consider. And the main idea of this is there is real potential to rep manufacturers who want to break into government contracting. 600,000 small business manufacturers here in the United States. Now, some of these manufacturers may not be building stuff that the DLA cares about. The DLA has 5 million national stock numbers within their database. Those national stock numbers are commercial off the shelf and custom precision, custom products. But you have to do the research. You got to do the analytics. You got to align it to what you are passionate about in order to align yourself for opportunities. No one's going to give it to you. Hey guys, I looked at my analytics recently, and most of the folks that watch my videos are between the age of 35 and 45. That means, we're Gen X. We're the Gen Xers. The Gen Z, they don't care about what the world is talking about. Well, I guess 35 is kind of millennials as well. So the millennials and the Gen Xers, you guys understand how to roll your sleeves up and how to get dirty. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with Gen Z. What happened? I don't know. But this is opportunities for us because we don't have a lot of competition when it comes to those Gen Zers. All right. So keep that in mind. This kind of keeps you going. A lot of times when you get older, you kind of realize you feel like, hey, man, I'm just kind of aged out of things. No, not with government contracting, especially supporting the U.S. military. The Gen Zs, they don't care about what we're talking about today, guys. So great opportunity for you to get involved. Lots of manufacturers that are interested in government contracting and don't even know who the DLA is. All right, cool. And last but not least, all these nuggets that DLA Guru is providing you guys, you want to see GOVCON training and coaching. Here, as you guys can see, this is the public. This is YouTube University. Look at the information that I'm providing in here in YouTube University. Imagine what happens when you're coaching one-on-one with me and you're working in a DLA vendor network in our training programs that we have set up. Just the amount of information and the wealth and depth and breadth of information that's going to help you hit the ground running. I recommend that you join our DLA vendor network. Again, if you're looking at this within the next, because I'll be probably talking a little bit beyond 1 o'clock today, because I'm talking, I'm a little long-winded, but you want to join the DLA vendor network, find me over on LinkedIn. I think it's the best place to find us over on LinkedIn. I think we got about 120 or so companies that are part of my members only LinkedIn community. It's free. All you do is log on to LinkedIn in the search criteria, just type at the DLA Guru. You will find me and request to follow me on LinkedIn. I'll take a look at your profile. And then if I think your profile is pretty cool, I will personally invite you to become part of our LinkedIn membership community. It's a lot of information that we're sharing over there. It's a networking community. Well, not doing a whole lot. I mean, it's a lot of information that will be coming down the pipe. but I just think LinkedIn is a great place for you guys to get started with me. Now, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about my training programs and things that I have in place in order to both empower you and inspire you for success with DLA, I recommend that you book a 15-minute pre-screening phone call with me. I'm going to drop this right in the chat for you right now. You'll see it in the chat. Click that link, bookmark it, align your schedule with mine, request a 15-minute pre-screening phone call so we can talk anything and everything related to who you are, your contracting journey. If I think the DLA is right for you, just recommend that you get involved. You know, that's how you do it. And then joining my members only DLA vendor network. Again, I got, how many is there? We got 4 brigadier generals and Patreon members in the community that's down there. So if you guys are interested in coming up and micing up with us today, I think it's going to be action packed. I love it when I have about 4 folks in there, man. We talk about all kind of stuff. So if you'd like to join us over there today, we'll probably be going to about 1:30 today. Yeah, I got a little energy. Look, hey, I'm planning on watching that movie tonight called Sinners. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about the new vampire movie that's out there. So, hey, if you guys are kind of want to do a little work with us, come on over and we can play a little later on tonight, that kind of thing. But thanks again. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for watching. And again, if you're interested in reaching out to yours truly, DLA Guru, as you see on the screen there, my email address, and it'll also be in the description of this video. You can reach me at fed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Any questions that you may have will be fantastic. And before I chime off on here, it looks like we did have some folks that kind of came in. See, Donice Carr. Thank you, Donice Carr. Let me give you a round of applause. She says, solicitations that require sampling where the OEM listed as is a reseller like Grainger, Fastenal, MasterCard, etc. How to satisfy this requirement? Okay, Donice, I will definitely pull that underneath my wing, and I will see if there's something that I can do to put some content out there that can maybe address that. Let's see, solicitations that require sampling. Yeah, well, you know, that I think I will have to know a little bit more about the solicitation, the national stock number, Donice, to really give you some information on that. But I kind of get an idea of a topic that we can kind of get in. Basically, we're looking at approved sources versus non-approved sources and what that really all means. I think I can come up with some content that could satisfy that in the future. Okay, cool. So thank you for that. Let's see. And the last comment of the day, we got LCF Geek or whatever, GIK. He says, awesome. Thanks. I'll join LinkedIn today. Fantastic. All right. Well, I really appreciate you for seeing me over in LinkedIn. That's just the first step to kind of entering into the DLA vendor network community. I'm really, really excited. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's presentation. I'm actually streaming on all platforms. I'm streaming on LinkedIn today simultaneously and Instagram. You know what? Actually, I forgot to click the live stream, the go live button on Instagram, but I think I can do it on the replay or something like that. So the replay will be on Instagram as far as this live stream today. But anyway, guys, thank you for showing up. We had, I think at a peak, we had 10 concurrent viewers and 9 likes. Fantastic. This always makes me feel real good. So until I meet you guys again here in these YouTube streets, I'll see you at the top.